you about you doing some madness, and oh, now you don't like us. Now who are we to judge you? You know? It ain't about that. This is Amos 5 and 10. Let me go ahead and get that real quick. This is Amos chapter 5 and 10. It says, they hate him that rebuketh in the gate, and they abhor him that speaketh uprightly. When you come with this truth, all right, because like I said once before, and I'll say it again, there are some men that was sent by Yahweh Bashem Yahushai to tell the message, to give the message. And we understand that only 1/3 of our people is going to adhere to the message, receive and understand and get the increase from Yahweh and Yahushai, all right, of this message. Others are not going to get it. But we don't know who's who, so we got to go ahead and talk to everybody. Rebuke everybody if they going off and doing wrong. So we're not holding our sword back from blood. So we're not cursed. Okay? So, and that's love right there. So you don't get messed up and deal with that fire. We give you your warnings. After the first and second admonition, we reject. We avoid you. Don't have nothing to do with you. We told you. We wipe our hands, wipe the dust off our foot and feet, and keep it pushing. Okay? But, you know, and that's just how it is. And that's why a lot of the times the men of the Lord were most hated. Were most hated because they didn't care what you thought. They just loved you and was telling you the right thing. Okay? Tough love. All right? Whether you can hear or whether you can forbear. We was just doing the job that we were told to do. We fear Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. We fear. Okay? So we're going to do the job. Like it says it should be done. And we don't care about what man could do to us. All right? We care and fear about what Yahweh Bashem Yahushai could do to us. Because you can only do something to this little body right here for so long and then we gone. See, but the Most High could do something to this body and something to our spirit. All right? He can take that spirit and make it go through all type of weeping and gnashing and pain. That's what we don't, hey, we don't want that. All right. So we going to tell you whether you hear or forbear. And guess what? We starting off with the apostles of Great Millstone, GMS. They are the ones that's set up by Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, the creme de la creme, because there are some other men outside of GMS that speak in the same thing and have all things common as well. OK, but the creme de la creme that's here on the earth today, because the Most High was and is always going to be about order. It's a rank and file. So at all times on the planet Earth, there was and will be a rank and file. Now, whether you could have the spiritual eyes to see that or not, that ain't on us. We just letting you know. Okay? There is a order. The Most High wouldn't say let all things be done decently and in order. And then down here on the earth, you just got, you got those men that's going to come against those men, but they still all the men of the Lord. No. You know what I'm saying? Now, at one point, we may have some disagreements and discrepancy, but we came together, you know, before the Lord, before that door of mercy shut and before the fire hit. All right. Those men came together. All things common. Okay. This is 1 Corinthians chapter 2. I'll start at 4. It says, and my speech and my preaching was not with enticing words of man's wisdom, but in demonstration of spirit and of power. So Paul said, hey, my speech and my preaching, the way I taught you, the way I spoke, my delivery was not with enticing words of man's wisdom. Okay. And that enticing comes from, I always get this, is the Greek word pithos, which means persuasive or make a friend. Okay. He was like, man, I ain't trying to persuade you. I ain't trying to make a friend either. Like, oh, just, look at me and see that, hey, I'm a friend. I'm friendly, I want to speak real smooth and real nice to you so you can like me. So you can speak well of me. So you can look at me and say, oh, my pastor, my pastor, my pastor. It wasn't that. He said, and my speech and my preaching was not with enticing words of man's wisdom, was not being persuasive or trying to make a friend. I had a job to do, is basically what he's saying. I had a big boss, okay? And then I had a foreman that was looking over me, making sure that I was on point and game tight. Okay? Because he understood this. In James, it says, James 3:1, it says, my brethren, be not many masters, knowing that we shall receive the greater condemnation. So it ain't that this is what you wanted to do. And I want to be a elder. I want to be an apostle. It wasn't about, they was chosen. Because most of the time they were on their own thing, doing their own thing. And then the Most High came to them like, boop, this is what you're going to do. And it was like, oh, I am. Oh, okay. All right. But it wasn't about, hey, I want to be an elder. I want to, it wasn't about that, because you're going to receive the greater condemnation if you're going off. You're going to receive the greater condemnation if you handling the word of God deceitfully. You're going to have the greater condemnation if you're not having all things common with the men that he set up. All right. To teach and preach this word. All right. You're going to have the greater condemnation if you're teaching false doctrine, the wrong doctrine. You're going to have the greater condemnation. So here it is. He didn't want to be condemned by Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. So he said, hey, back in 1 Corinthians 2:4, hey, my speech and my preaching and the way my delivery was, it wasn't with enticing words of man's wisdom. All right. I ain't trying to be persuasive or be your friend. I'm just doing my job and telling you the truth because that was my given to me to do. OK, he said it wasn't that, but it was this. It says, but in demonstration of spirit and of power. All right. And that Greek word power is the Greek word dunamis, which means force or violence, because he knew what he was talking about. Here it is. The apostles of GMS, we know on down, we know what we're talking about. All right. That faith and understanding was given. OK. So we're not like open-minded to anything else. We receive that 1 + 1 = 2. We know it. So now we're here to tell you. All right. Same thing about the understanding of this truth. We know it. It was given to us to know. And now it's just this message that we have to give. And we understand that only 1/3 is going to adhere to the message, believe it, receive it, and show their belief and faith by the way they live and their works. We don't have to debate nobody. We don't have to see, who going to win? Who going to do we don't have to do none of that. All we have to do is teach the word the way the Most High said do it. All right. And if you believe us, then, hey, beautiful, come on in. And now you have hope. Now you have hope of salvation and escaping the wrath of the Lord. But if you don't believe us, it's going to be the big I told you so when you on fire. It's going to be the big I told you so. The biggest I told you so of all time. We're sitting up here telling you now. This right here is the 100% truth to lead you to salvation and back in good graces with Yahweh. This is it. Whether you could believe it or not. But you've been told. So now my last verse. Yep. Like I said, you've been told. But a lot of times, our people, they look for the wrong things in a so-called man of the Lord. All right? They look for the wrong things, man. This is Mark chapter 6, I'll start at the top, verse 1. It says, "And he went out from thence and came into his own country, and his disciples follow him. And when the Sabbath day was come, he began to teach in the synagogue. And many hearing him were astonished, saying, From whence hath this man these things? And what wisdom is this which is given unto him, that even such mighty works are wrought by his hands?" They like, verse 3, "Is not this the carpenter, the son of Mary, the brother of James and Joseph and of Judah and Simon? And are not his sisters here with us?" And they were offended at him. But Yahushua said unto them, "A prophet is not without honor, but in his own country, and among his own kin, and in his own house." So first and foremost, if you're a prophet, you're a teacher, a man of the Lord, first and foremost, they of your literal own house. Your mom, your dad, your brothers, sisters, cousins, aunties, uncles, grandmas. They're gonna be like, "Come on, man. Now, man, little Tim, man, you used to pee in the bed, man. Now you gonna sit up here talking about you a prophet, man, that you got the words of the Lord, So that's gonna be first and foremost. Then those that was around your neighborhood, yeah, man, I used to hoop with that dude, man, and shit. I used to see him over there smoking and all that type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Now he talking about he this and he that. But that's how it comes, man. That's how it goes. Because the men of the Lord at one point, hey, they were into madness. They were into false doctrines. They were into gang banging. They were into this, that, and the other thing that was of the world. Okay? But the Lord chose them out of that. All right? And then they were faithful and had integrity, that they forsook this present evil world and all the customs and the things that they said what's up, to follow Yahweh Shem Yahushua. And the men that he set up ultimately become a leader and a teacher themselves. Okay? But, for the most part, our people going to look at it, man, wait a minute. Man, you sitting up here, you got on Jordans and these jeans, and like, what you expect? What you want? Okay? See, but like I say, we don't gotta have all that extra stuff and do these extra things, because it's the word that's gathering the elect. All right? So all we need to do is push the word in truth. All right? And have all things common with those that we break bread with, those that we teach with, okay? Those that we hang around. We're going to have all things common. All right? One doctrine, one spirit, one truth. All right? And so that's all I got for right now. But, I'm also wanting to do this lesson about Gentiles as well. Lord willing, he put the spirit on me to do it. But it kind of segues, this lesson kind of segues into that. All right? Because Gentile, which means foreigner, you have your natural foreigners, which are those who are not Hebrew Israelites. But then you have your unnatural foreigners who are Israelites, Israelite foreigners. Some who didn't know that they were Israelites and now thought they were the nations of wherever they were scattered. Or, they were just still doing the customs and the practices and the religions and the philosophies and the things that they say, what's up in whatever captivity, So those would be also considered Gentiles. And that's who Paul went to. So I'm going to be segueing this one over into that one, Lord willing, soon. So with that, I'm going to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone, and salutations to all you Akim pushing this word in truth and sincerity. And with that, I'm going to say shalom. Abad Babal.